Welcome back. Thank you everyone who's been liking, who's been sharing, who's been subscribing, who's just been watching, giving comments. This is all good stuff. This is all appreciated. I appreciate you looking at the channel. I've just finished laughing my head off. To be honest, I don't know if you've seen it yet, but so if you go to John Fury's Instagram, he's called out Joe Egan. I think Joe Egan. I don't know too much about this Joe Egan fella, but I know there's been some sort of rivalry of sorts between him and John Fury. I think it's a lot of Joe Egan calling out John Fury, and now John has done a big reply video. It's just amazing. I just encourage you to watch it because it's just vintage prime John Fury being angry, talking to camera, calling the guy names. Like I think he's one of the greatest characters in the history of sport. We haven't seen him fight that much. His career was a long time ago, but I'm telling you that just the character is amazing. Some of the things that he's calling this Joe Egan, I think he calls him Camel Head. I remember someone called him out before. It might have been the same fella who was calling him out before. And John Fury did this video saying he called him like a Shapton Mallet pig. All of these amazing things. It's tremendous. It's very watchable. So I encourage you all to watch it, and maybe there will be a fight. I don't know, but even if there isn't a fight between these two men, happy to see the build up continue like this. Although to be fair, I haven't seen too much of the Joe Egan stuff. I just seen John Fury responding and doing so very viciously with his words. So check it out. The other video that I saw which had me laughing my head off was David Haye's reaction to Jake Paul against Anthony Joshua. Now, he has reined it back a tad. There have been subsequent videos where he says, oh, mate, maybe there's something that I'm missing because this is what I thought about Fury and Ngannou, all of this kind of stuff. But the interview that he did on Sky News was, just like John Fury was vintage John Fury with some of the things he was saying. This is vintage David Haye. This took me back to when he was building up his fight with Audley Harrison, and he said the most ridiculous things to hype up that fight and got a lot of criticism. He's saying things here about the Jake Paul Anthony Joshua fight. He was asked, the interviewer said something like, but obviously, Joshua's been out the ring for a little while now. He hasn't been active. What do we know about him? And David Haye just said, well, he could have been in a coma for 5 years. He could wake up and still beat Jake Paul. Just brilliant stuff. Just the delivery of this new bearded David Haye really amused me. But enough about all of that. Let's talk about what's coming up this weekend. It is time. And for me, it is now time for Sam Noakes to become the WBO World Lightweight Champion. He has won the Commonwealth title. He has won the British title. He has won the European title. You know what's next. I know what's next. He knows what's next. It is the world title. He has won 17 fights. He has never lost a fight. He has won 15 of those fights by knockout. He is 28 years old. He is a big, strong man, and he's about to take on Abdulah Mason, who is maybe not a big, strong man. In fact, I've been thinking, right, and I'm going to clip this and put it as a little separate video. But I think, ladies and gentlemen, I have 5 reasons that Sam Noakes will beat Abdulah Mason on Saturday night and become the new WBO World Lightweight Champion. Number 1, experience. Abdulah Mason has never been beyond 6 rounds. He's 21 years old and he's been 6 rounds a couple of times. Normally he gets guys out of there. It's kind of like a Moses Itauma kind of thing, really, where no one stretched him beyond 6 rounds. But he hasn't done 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. These are numbers that Sam Noakes has done. He has heard. We know that he can carry power late into a fight. He has stopped people later into a fight. He has gone the distance a couple of times. And by the way, one of those times that he's gone the distance, Yvonne Mendy. Yvonne Mendy is a tough man. You may remember him as the guy that upset Luke Campbell, quite a few years back now. But even later than that, he won plenty of rounds against Denis Berenci. He didn't win a round against Sam Noakes. So Sam Noakes not only carries his power late, he can also win over 12 rounds. Abdullah Mason, all he showed us is that he has power early, at least. He may carry it late, we don't know. And he hasn't been beyond 6. We haven't heard ding ding round 7. Reason number 2, chin. Abdullah Mason, around a year ago, fought a guy called Johan Vasquez. Now, Johan Vasquez, going into that fight, had lost 3 of his last 4 fights. Johan Vasquez wasn't there to really put on a show or anything. It was meant to just be Abdullah Mason looking good, knocking the fella out, moving on, probably within 6 rounds. He did knock him out within 6 rounds. However, in the first round, he was dropped twice. Dropped by Johan Vasquez. I put that to Sam Noakes. I said, what did you think about that? And he says, it shows there's a bit of a vulnerability there. Would those shots have dropped me? Would those shots have even moved me? Sam Noakes has shown that he's got a solid chin. He's made of stern stuff. So Abdullah Mason getting dropped early in a fight by a largely unheralded fighter, what does that mean about the old whiskers? Number 3, sparring. And I don't know too much about who Abdullah Mason's been sparring, but I know who Sam Noakes has been sparring. I've seen the picture go out. It's a 21-year-old wonder kid, southpaw, who's done plenty in the amateurs and is unbeaten as a pro. It sounds a lot like Abdullah Mason, right? It's Royston Barney Smith, former European amateur champion, unbeaten in his career so far, and he looks a top dog. You're not going to get better sparring than that. He's super fast. He's got a dig as well. Trained by Ben Davison. He's put out of that sort of camp as well. So in terms of elite level sparring, you've got one there. Royston is going to become a world champion. Royston Barney Smith is the perfect preparation for someone like Abdullah Mason. So those sorts of rounds, they would have helped Sam Noakes. Number 4, man strength. This is a thing. Abdullah Mason is 21 years old. Sam Noakes is 28 years old. And just as I put to Sam, could it be man versus boy? He really believes it is man versus boy. He said to me, I'm a big-ass man. And I'd make him right. He's a big, strong man. He trains with Jordan Vine, who is also the S&C coach of a number of fighters, including Moses Itauma, by the way. And Jordan Vine has said, this is the strongest lightweight in the world. He's pretty sure about that. And anyone watching this really, you'll probably know the difference between your physical strength at 21 years old and that same strength at 28 years old. It is different. It is different. You're just thicker. You're just more of a man, more of a bloke. 21 years old, you still got plenty of development to do. Very sadly, I never developed sort of beyond probably about 15, 16, to be fair. But we're here now. We out here. Back to Sam Noakes, right? Man strength. Big difference. He's a big, strong man. Reason number 5, power. He's from Maidstone and his hands are made of stone. Sam Noakes went on a streak of 13 fights, 13 wins, 13 knockouts. He has bricks for fists. He is the lightweight Artur Beterbiev. Yes, I said it. He's the lightweight Artur Beterbiev. And he's shown that the power carries late. He stopped people in the 8th round. He stopped people in the 9th round. It is genuine power. And it's actually power that I felt myself. I put the belt thing on when I went to see him in the gym. And he hit me with, bigger gloves on, I guess, sparring gloves. I don't know. But he hit me. And he said he put 70% into it. So 70% with the big thing on that I had, with his big gloves, it winded me. It winded me. Man, listen, it says more about you, Dev. No, it doesn't. I'm really hard. Yeah, I'm proper hard, me. But look, I'm not really. But it did hurt. It did hurt. And I just thought, yeah, he's like, imagine getting punched like that without the body bag thing on and with him in 10-ounce gloves. 8-ounce gloves, isn't it? Because it's lower. Ridiculous. So he's got genuine pop. So listen, there's my 5 reasons. That's why I think Sam Noakes will beat Abdullah Mason. Obviously, Abdullah Mason looks like a really good fighter. He's backed by Ring Magazine. He's one of their guys, right? Backed by Top Rank. They really think highly of him. But he ain't fought anyone like Sam Noakes. Not only is this a step up for Sam Noakes, this is also a significant step up for Abdullah Mason. This is where we find out. And listen, obviously, I'm backing Sam. Sam's my man. Sam's my mate. Same sort of area. Such a brilliant fight on Saturday night. Part of that wonderful show from Riyadh. Can't wait to watch. What else is going on? Moses Itauma will be fighting Jermaine Franklin. That's all confirmed. That's all over the line. We did the press conference on Monday. I hosted it. Tried to probe a little bit. I'll tell you what, with Moses and Jermaine, there wasn't too much in terms of animosity. I thought Jermaine might come with a little bit more smoke, but he didn't. He was fairly respectful. All the smoke came from everywhere else on the table, like Liam Davis, Zach Miller, Ezra Taylor, Willie Hutchinson. Just so many brilliant fights on that show. Even Shaquille Thompson and Brad Pauls a little bit. Nathan Heaney and Jerome Warburton, they were going at it. It's really good. Akib Fiaz, Jordan Flynn. There was just loads of really good little rivalries and like snapping and all of that. I love all that. But with Moses and Jermaine, this is it. This is the fight that fight fans have been asking for, what Moses has been asking for, what Ben Davison, Francis Warren, Frank Warren, they've all been asking for this fight, and they've got it. They've got their wish. And the idea is that Jermaine Franklin takes Moses rounds, asks him a few questions, and we find out a little bit more about Moses. Let's see. Let's see what we do find out about him. I think everyone is sort of hoping that, you do get a few rounds out of him, but you just never know. Moses is so quick and fast and powerful, and he just tends to overwhelm guys. But I wonder if he'll do it to Jermaine Franklin. I got to speak to Jermaine Franklin as well. Did an interview for Queensberry, probably about 10 minutes or so, and that Queensberry will put that out whenever they put it out. But for me, something in there was really, really interesting. Last time out, he boxed Ivan Ditchko on the big Netflix show on Canelo Crawford, and it was kind of a controversial win. Some people felt that Ditchko did enough to win it. Jermaine Franklin got the nod, so there have been a few questions about, oh, he didn't look that great last time. But I think this interview kind of puts that to bed, because his dad had died 2 weeks before that fight, and if it was just like a normal fight, he probably would have pulled out. But he carried on in honour of his father. But the way that manifested in the ring, what he told me was that he had to stop himself from crying 3 times. This is a real thing. We've seen this before with Filip Hrgovic against Zhang, where he'd lost his dad. The fight got rescheduled because he'd lost his dad, but then he went into it and he was just lackadaisical. He was looking about all over the place. There was a feeling that, his mind wasn't on the job, and that's what happened with Jermaine Franklin. You never know what's going through a fighter's head, and Jermaine Franklin was literally in that fight, the biggest fight of his career, in a stadium, biggest moment I guess, of his life, because you make a big statement on a platform like that, it sends you up to another stratosphere. But he's in there just thinking about his dad, and he's trying to not cry. It was like he was in a fight within a fight. And ultimately, he won both fights. He got through it, but just crazy. I just think, look, I've mentioned this before. There's a lot that goes in a fighter's mind when they are in the ring, and that was evident with Jermaine Franklin. Keeping in the heavyweight division, the biggest heavyweight news right now is that Fabio Wardley is now the WBO World Heavyweight Champion. I think this may be, if not one of the greatest stories ever told in sport. He started boxing at 20 years old. He didn't have an amateur career. It's not like started boxing late, did a little bit in the amateurs. Because you look at someone like AJ, Anthony Joshua started boxing late, started boxing at 18 years old. He still had a decorated amateur career, became Olympic gold medalist, right? He started the sport late, but he went the traditional path of doing really well in the amateurs, getting the Olympic gold, which is a great achievement, and then turning pro and building his way. Fabio Wardley hasn't done that. Fabio Wardley, at 20 years old, worked as a recruitment consultant. He just liked fighting a bit, so he thought, let me try this white collar stuff. Let me see what that's like. Just fight someone else who probably works in recruitment. Let's see if I can go and beat up Big Fat Kev. Yeah, let's see if I can beat him up. And he had a scrap with him, and he knocked him out. I don't know specifically if the guy he was fighting was called Big Fat Kev. I'm speculating. I don't know. But regardless, Fabio Wardley knocked all these white collar guys out, 4 of them, turned pro because It sounded like a cool idea. Got with Dillian White, who helped him out in his pro career, like a couple of fights in, and just kept beating people. And now he's beaten Joseph Parker and he's become the world heavyweight champion. I don't understand how it's happened. This guy is not human. I've said this before. Like this is an unfathomable story. You can't do it. You can't write this stuff. You try and write this stuff, it's the stuff of fantasy, of mental. I think it's better than the Rocky story, because the Rocky story is a struggling boxer, like a middle of the road boxer called Rocky Balboa, who out of nowhere gets a shot against Apollo Creed for the world title. Fabio Wardley was not a struggling kind of boxer, not really going anywhere with his career. He was a recruitment consultant. His focus wasn't boxing. His focus was outbound calls, unsolicited emails. Yeah, just trying to get people jobs here and there, trying to figure things out. And he just fancied a scrap, and now he's world champion. I can't believe it. It is better than the Rocky story. And when they do make a film on his life, because they have to. They have to now. It's not like it ended. He beat Parker and then he lost his next fight. Look, that might happen. But he's world champion, and no one can ever take that away from Fabio Wardley. It is in the history books. He's become world champion. It is crazy. So yeah, congratulations, Fabio Wardley. This is because Usyk's vacated the belt, by the way. So Usyk was given the choice. Would you like to fight Fabio Wardley? You've got until so long to make that decision. He said, I'll give up the belt. I don't know what that means for what Usyk is going to do next. I don't know what it means for the heavyweight division, but it certainly means that Fabio Wardley is now a world champion. And yeah, of course, look, finally, the news that Jake Paul is fighting Anthony Joshua. And yeah, look, for me, it's a huge mismatch. We have seen this guy knock people out cold with one punch. He's one of the biggest punches that we've seen in recent times in the sport of boxing, and he's now fighting a guy who's coming off a knockout loss to Daniel Dubois. I can't even keep a straight face. I'm sorry. It's just a stupid joke, just a stupid gag. Obviously, Jake Paul's not going to knock out Anthony Joshua. Obviously not. Obviously, Anthony Joshua's going to run right through him. Surely. Sure. I mean, what happens? What if it can't happen? It can't happen. Jake Paul can't knock out Anthony Joshua. Can he? No. We will see. I don't know. This sport just gets crazier by the day. But Magnificent 7 show coming up January 24th. Queensberry, go and get your tickets right now. Go and buy them. I've heard tickets are flying, by the way. So if you're in Manchester, get them quick. Otherwise, you just won't be able to go. And you should try and go because it's a really good show. Other than that, Sam Noakes, Saturday night. It is his time to become world champion. And by the way, Anthony Yarde, I know I've already spoken about him in a separate video, but Anthony Yarde, Saturday night, it is his time. This guy walks towards the fire and he's doing it all over again. Kovalev, yeah, let me go to that fire. Beterbiev, yeah, let me go to that fire. Benavidez, let me go to that fire. And this time, it's his time. WBC World Light Heavyweight Champion elect. And I'll tell you why. Because Benavidez hasn't been hit like Anthony Yarde will be hitting him on Saturday. It's about getting his respect and getting it in there early. So we could be in a position where Britain has multiple world champions at the end of Saturday night. We've already got Nick Bull. We've got Lewis Crocker. We've just had Fabio Wardley. Let's add Sam Noakes. Let's add Anthony Yarde. Come on, boys. Let's do it. See you next time.